Hello and welcome to another Adventures of Scott and Michelle. We're going to be taking you on a tour to Cave of the Mounds. So join us on our adventure.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. It's a place we've never been to. Again, it's also in southwest Wisconsin, in a town called Mounds, about a half hour west of Madison.
Yeah, my husband always wanted to take me here. We tried going here 20 years ago and I was really scared and I chickened out. So let's just see how the tour goes. So wish me luck, guys.
It's chilly down there, right?
So right now we're standing underneath one of our largest stalagmites in the cave. It's about 17 feet tall. And it takes about 100 years for a formation to grow 1 inch. So that's about a marshmallow's worth every 100 years. Also, if you look up, you'll notice a giant crack in our ceiling with some stalactites hanging down from it. That is called a joint or a fissure. That's where most of the air and water comes into our cave. All right, you guys can keep coming forward some more.
What that? Not really.
All right, so if you look behind me, you'll notice rocks that are stacked up on top of each other. The reason why they're stacked up on top of each other is because when the first explorers came down in this area, they believed that there was more cave that way. So they dug about 25 feet back, and they stopped and realized there actually wasn't any more cave that way, but there is more cave underneath them, which is where we'll be heading next in a couple of minutes. So do you guys remember the 6 feet long? With the rest of its body, it would have been about 12 feet long. So you think 12 feet's pretty big? Yeah? That's actually pretty small for a cephalopod. Most cephalopods grew to be about 30 feet long. Yeah, would you want to swim with them? You guys can follow me down there.
No, not too long.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You can touch that bar if you want to. There you go. Keep playing.
Is it not too close to us?
No, not too close to it.
All right, do we have everyone? Yep. All right. So, when we were in the meanders, we were actually at our deepest point that we'll be going today. So we were about 75 feet underground. And right now we're about 45 feet underground. We're actually underneath the platform where we started. So we just made one loop, and we'll be making a figure 8 today in the cave. So we just completed one loop, and then we're going to be starting the second loop of the figure 8. So raise your hand if you think we have animals that live in this cave. A lot of soda and you brush your teeth for a long time, you get cavities just like the cave. So kids, brush your teeth after you drink soda. All right, any questions for me at all? All right, well, just a reminder, if you do have any questions, feel free to ask me. I've been here for about 4 years, so if you think your question is a little weird, I've heard it all. It's all right if you ask me any question. So we'll be heading on to one of our largest rooms in the cave. It's called the North Cave. So everyone can follow me there.
She's got pictures, she turned them out off.
Our largest room is because we have 2 fissures that meet up. So that first fissure that I pointed out earlier, we've been following it this entire time. That meets up with another one right about here. So this is the first fissure that we've been following. This is the second fissure that we're going to be following. And if you follow that second fissure, it goes all the way to that back corner where it looks like there's some tree roots coming in. But those are actually not tree roots. Those are what we call rivet stalactites or cave bacon. Of course, you can't eat the cave bacon because it's rock, you'd break your teeth off. But it does look very good, just like bacon. So underneath that cave bacon, it kind of looks like there's chocolate ice cream flowing down. That's called flow stone. So if we slid down that flow stone, do you think it would be rough or do you think it would be smooth? Raise a hand if you think it'll be rough. Raise your hand if you think it'll be smooth. If you thought it was rough, you're actually right. So the reason why it would feel rough is those calcite crystals are so small, they make the formation feel a little bit like sandpaper. So imagine sliding down sandpaper, it probably wouldn't feel too good. So do you guys remember that formation that you touched earlier at the end of that railing? You remember how that felt? It was nice and smooth. So the reason why that was so smooth is because everybody else has been touching that, and their oils have essentially polished that formation and stopped its growth. So that's why we ask people not to touch anything in our cave, otherwise everything will look like that and stay like that forever, which we don't want. All right, so we're going to be heading on to one of my favorite parts of the cave. We'll continue to follow this second fissure. So this is our painted waterfall, and we call it a painted waterfall because of all the different colors in the flowstone. And those different colors are caused by minerals coming in with that water. So the oranges and reds are iron oxide, the purples, blacks, and grays are manganese. If you have a hard time trying to remember manganese, it also rhymes with mac and cheese, but it's not the same color as it. And then the whites and yellows are calcite. So if you look along some of the ledges, you'll notice tiny stalactites hanging down. And those small stalactites are what we call soda straws because they're hollow in the center, just like a straw. So if you had a soda straw, you can technically drink your soda or water, or for some of us, our adult beverages through it. And then as that water drips down, those calcite crystals start to clog up the end, And then we get more of the icicle shaped form that we're used to for those. So also as you're looking up, you'll notice a large hole in the ceiling. That is called a dome, which is caused by sulfuric acid eating away at the limestone. So we had two acids that helped expand our cave, carbonic and sulfuric. If you would like to take a better look inside the dome, you can actually use the reflection of the water that's in front of us. So it kind of acts like a mirror. So as we're looking into that water, how cold do you think it is temperature-wise?
20 degrees or something. About 50 degrees.
You say about 50 degrees? Or, yeah, you're right. You're actually right. It's about 50 degrees. It's the same temperature as the cave. And it stays the same temperature all year round because there's no other opening up to the surface to let any colder air in, and no sunlight gets down here. So it stays a constant 50 degrees out, or in here, even if it was negative 32 degrees out and it was a blizzard in the wintertime. It's still 50 degrees down here, so it feels really nice in the wintertime. So also, as we're looking near the, follow me this way.
No, next one looks like I'm going to be real.
So this room is what we call our cathedral room. We call it the cathedral room because of this wall right here looks like pipes of an organ. Also because of the high vaulted ceilings and the chandeliers that are hanging down. People do actually get married down in this room. They're of course very small weddings. So if you ever want to get married down in a cave, you can.
No. I don't even know what I'm married. I'm like 6.
You got a while. It'll be
I
fine.
do have a few words I want to write.
It's always going to have options. So towards the front, near my foot, there's a stalagmite that looks like it got broken off, and you'll notice rings that are around it. These rings do not tell us how old the stalagmite is. They only tell us what minerals were coming in at different times. So it's not like a tree where you can count the rings and figure out how old it is. The rings just only tell us what minerals were coming in at different times. So I'll just have you guys come forward just a little bit more. Color, because she has such small amounts of it in her. But manganese is a special mineral. When you shine light on it and you shut it off, it'll glow for a little bit. So I'll do that one more time. Everybody see that?
Ooh.
All right, so if you didn't
Oh wow, this is like really, really small. It's a good thing I'm short, hun.
Good thing the monster.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost got stuck right there.
I had a school group and they asked me if I knew where. Front, or once you get towards the front, you can kind of kneel down and look up. And if you see a black tip on a stalactite, you found the right one. Kind of looks like a Sharpie marker. So, right? Yeah. Sometimes if you wait long enough, you can watch the drip too. So the cave continues that way. You can also see behind here, you can kind of spread out, look at these two windows. So in the right-hand window, it kind of looks like there's some pancakes stacked up on top of each other. Those are what we call beehive stalagmites. And then in the left-hand window, it looks like we have some more flow stone. That's actually not flow stone. That's what we call shelf stone. Because there used to be wood underneath that formation. And when it's anybody getting a little chilly yet? Not yet?
Yes, I'm cold blooded.
All right, so for this science experiment, you guys will just have to stay along this wall here. What I'll be doing is I'm going to be shutting off all the lights, and then I'll be shining 2 black lights on the wall. There'll be 1 black light here, and then 1 black light over here. Once I'm done shining those black lights on the wall, I'll shut them off, and then you guys can see what happens. So if you have any light from your camera or phone, I would like you to tuck that away now. Said how big or small the person had to be, so you could fit a small child in there if you wanted to.
Oh, I can fit in there.
So Surprise Caves continues right behind you guys. Over on this side, there's a little pool of water. This is what we call our alligator pit because it looks like the head of an alligator, not because there's actual alligators that live in there.
Because that would be really scary if alligator just jumped out of the water and started following us.
See the ceiling of the cave. And then also, if you get dripped on a lot, that's because you'll be standing underneath what we call our Eiffel Dome. And we call it the Eiffel Dome because if you look up too long, you'll get an eye full of water.
Well, again, that concludes our visit of the Cave of the Mounds here in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, about a half hour west of Madison. It was a great, wonderful tour. Happy, Michelle was able to enjoy it. She was reluctant about going to caves until today.
Yeah, I was sort of scared, I'm a chicken, but I really enjoyed myself. It was really nice and really unique and something I've never done before, and I was glad that we did it. I mean, for $18.95, I thought it was well worth it.
Yeah, it was a nice, like about 45-minute guided tour. Non-neat formations, and right behind us is a big, big giant amethyst cathedral, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really neat and cool.
And since we've left now, since we got out of the cave now, the sun has come out. Before it was sort of cloudy and drizzly, but it's a much nicer day now. And again, that concludes our vlog of the Cave of the Mounds.
So if you like this vlog, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and if you really like, give it a subscribe. And this is Adventures of Scott and Michelle. So we look forward to showing you many more wonderful adventures.
Thanks.